Hello everyone, since this video aims to focus on a specific story from our Indian epic Mahabharata, I will give you a short background to the story described here for whoever has not read or heard this beautiful epic tale called Mahabharata. Anyone who directly wants to listen to the story can skip to the timestamp given in the description box. As I begin with the background, I just want to let the audience know that I have high regard for this wonderful epic, and I intend to bring out some bits of this epic in bite-sized video for everyone to watch, enjoy and learn from a glorious history. So if I'm missing any detail at any point, I apologize and I want to inform you all that it is unintentional. I will try my best to continue sharing some treasured stories from Mahabharata. As I have read and understood Mahabharata, in its current form has 18 chapters or sections, out of which the first section establishes the context of the rivalry between the Pandavas and the Kauravas, who are essentially first cousins. The following 3 areas set the stage for the story till the war. Then the next 6 sections describe the war in detail, and the final 8 chapters or sections describe the emotional, material and spiritual outcomes of the war. Although the war was triggered due to unfair and unjust decisions over land and property, the root cause was a long brooding chain reaction of wrongdoings, or as mentioned in the epic, adharma activities of one side over the other. In this video, we will focus on Abhimanyu's role in the Great War of Kurukshetra and what happened just after Abhimanyu's death. How his father Arjuna react and take revenge. Abhimanyu was around 16 during the war and had a sharp mind like his father. His role became active in the war when Drona devised a terrifying plan on the 13th day of the war between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. Drona, who was leading the Kaurava army, decided to take down at least one of the Pandavas who were very bravely defending and attacking the Kauravan army. He decided to align his Kaurava army in a dreaded formation of chakravyuh, or a maze wherein the soldiers encircle and entrap the enemy. Only Arjuna knew how to break this formation on Pandava's side, but Drona had strategically played Karna on his side before getting the soldiers to form the chakravyuh. He knew Krishna will take Arjuna to the other end of the battlefield if Karna stays close to the area where he planned to deploy the soldiers. The reason for this becomes clear in the following short story. Karna was not supposed to enter the battlefield as long as Bhishma was leading the Kaurava army. As soon as Bhishma fell, it was time for Karna to enter the battlefield. The day Karna was to enter the battlefield, an old man came to him at dawn begging for alms. Karna was known to never say no to anyone who came in asking for something from him, especially during his meditation time in the early hours of the morning. He said to the old man, "Ask and it shall be yours." Quickly the old man asked Karna for his earrings and armor that was part of his body from his birth. They formed part of Karna's strength, protecting him from any kind of weapon. Giving that up will leave him vulnerable in the battlefield. Karna, without a second thought, decided to give up on his divine gifts. He cut it out of his body like a branch from a tree. The old man, who was actually Arjuna's father, Indra, the king of gods, who acted out of love for his son. Indra felt overwhelmed and at Karna's selflessness. He then revealed his true identity and expressed his respect for the charity Karna displayed and acknowledged him as the son of Surya. Indra then gave Karna a divine gift, a celestial spear, which never misses its mark, but it can be used as weapon only once. Karna then decided in his mind that he will use this to kill Arjuna. From this moment on in the battlefield, Krishna never let Arjuna in Karna's line of sight. As Drona got his soldiers to form the deadly chakravyuh formation, he asked Karna to stay close to this formation, knowing that Arjuna would be driven away by Krishna. With this strategy, Drona wanted to entrap and kill some of the Pandavas because it was only Arjuna who knew how to tackle the chakravyuh, and he would not be anywhere owing to Karna staying close to this formation. Yudhishthir realized that suddenly he along with his men are encircled and trapped in the chakravyuh. He cried out for help, but strategically Krishna blew his conch shell at the same time to ensure Arjuna doesn't hear Yudhishthir's call for help. Abhimanyu, who heard the call for help from his uncle Yudhishthir, jumped to action and said, "I know how to break the formation so that you can escape from here." This came from a 16-year-old newly married Abhimanyu who was excited to contribute to the war from the side of Pandavas. A confused Yudhishthir asked Abhimanyu about how could he do that what he claimed. Abhimanyu said, "I overheard father describe it when I was still in my mother's womb." But Yudhishthir asked, "But what?" Abhimanyu replied, "While I know how to break the formation for you to get out, I do not know how to get out myself. You will have to come back to get me." Yudhishthir confirmed, saying, "You have my word." Abhimanyu started breaching the formation, and to everyone's amazement, including Drona, the formation started to break and Yudhishthir and his men were able to get out. Soon Yudhishthir, gathering reinforcements required, turned around to go back to get his nephew. He found the path to be blocked by Jayadratha and his army. Meanwhile, Drona and his men efficiently moved to reinstate the formation. Abhimanyu soon found himself surrounded by all of his Kaurava cousins. Knowing that the odds are against him, Abhimanyu started fighting bravely. They broke his bows, so he started fighting with the sword, which didn't last long either. Abhimanyu, without giving up, picked up a spear. They broke his spear too, and then Abhimanyu picked up a chariot wheel and was able to kill Duryodhana's son, Lakshman. Eventually, Dushasan's son was able to hit him on his head with a mace, and before he could come to his senses, rest of the Kaurava jumped on him and cut him to pieces. The death of Abhimanyu had a dire effect on his father Arjuna, who was filled with rage and was forced to accept that on the battlefield Drona was no teacher. When Arjuna came to know from Yudhishthir that Jayadratha blocked his way, stopping him to go and rescue his nephew, Arjuna directed all his rage towards Jayadratha. He then vowed to kill Jayadratha before sunset the next day, else he will burn himself alive. Drona was happy to know about Arjuna's vow. He thought all he has to do now is to keep Jayadratha away from Arjuna's side for one day. The entire Kaurava army was positioned between Arjuna and Jayadratha the next day. Arjuna fought fiercely the next day, shooting hundreds of arrows which destroyed the chariot and weapons of Kaurava army who stood between him and Jayadratha. Arjuna was a lion determined to find his prey, though it was becoming difficult to break the soldier wall. Soon the red glow of the dusk appeared, indicating the day was about to end. As the sun disappeared from the sky, Drona said, "It is sunset." A wave of cheer rushed through the Kaurava army. They had succeeded in their mission. Jayadratha was safe. A surprised Arjuna said, "Is it dark already?" He then turned towards Krishna, asking to prepare his pyre so he can stay true to his words and burn himself alive, failing to kill Jayadratha before sunset. Krishna went up to Arjuna and told in his ears that the sun is still high up in the sky and that he has simply covered it with his hands to create an illusion of sunset. He then directed Arjuna to carefully follow the sound of Jayadratha's laughter and shoot his arrow towards him in the dark. Krishna's strategy was to reveal the sun after Arjuna's arrow killed Jayadratha in the dark. Motivated after listening to Krishna's strategy, Arjuna stood up and focused on the sound of Jayadratha's laughter. He then released his arrow towards him and it hit its mark. Before Drona could cry foul, Krishna removed his hand and revealed the sun. And thus Arjuna was able to take revenge of Abhimanyu's death. However, this was the turning point for Arjuna in the war. From here on, the war had turned personal for Arjuna.